Hello everybody, it is the Squid-Boy back at it with another piece of garbage that you do not care about. Alright, so you know those like stupid copy and paste like top 10 lists that like Watch Mojo and a bunch of other channels come out with periodically? I found what might be like the worst one I have ever seen. It is so bad, it is honestly like really funny. Alright, so this top 10 list was done by The Gamer, the YouTube channel. And first of all, I just like to point out that this channel somehow got verified on YouTube as The Gamer. Do you realize how insane it is that this channel got verified as The Gamer? That's like owning the website domain online.com. Like, in order to get the name The Gamer on YouTube, you have to pay someone a lot of money or hire an assassin, and like there's no other way you're getting that name. Anyways, I've talked enough about absolutely nothing, so let's get into the video.
Playing with slow video game characters can be frustrating, and a good reason to turn the game off.
Alright, I know we said we'd watch the video now, and it's been like 2 seconds, but I just have to say this, okay? Who talks like this? Playing with slow characters can be frustrating, and a good reason to turn the game off. I am not a person who knows nothing about what I'm talking about, and is just reading off of a script.
Some players actually choose to embrace the slow movements, and use a few little tricks to turn these movements into some impressive speedruns. See these runs in action, and how slow characters have been made to look impressively fast. But before you watch, speedrun to the subscribe button. You'll join our notification squad, and be the first to know of new content.
Alright, after the stupid plug thing, we're finally getting into the list, and the first one is stupid, and already immediately brings up an issue with this list.
Fast food and junk food video games have been promoting various companies for years.
Alright, I had to listen to that sentence 3 times because it doesn't make sense. Basically what he's saying is that the video games are promoting the companies, and I feel like it's kind of the opposite. I feel like the companies promote the video games more than the video games promote the companies.
McDonald's had their own Nintendo game in the 90s. Burger King released various games for the Xbox 360. And Skittles even had their own game released for the GameCube. Surprisingly, the one company on the forefront of this video game trend was Domino's Pizza. In the 1980s and 90s, the Noid was the Domino's mascot who got to star in 2 different video games. Yo Noid for the NES was the more popular option.
Now if you're waiting for him to mention what the other option of the 2 Noid games are, well then I guess it sucks to be you, because he just doesn't. He just goes, you see, there are 2 of these games that were made. This one was more popular. And then that's the end of the sentence. You don't get to know what the other one was, okay? I don't know what the other one was. I'm not gonna look it up.
But the Noid moved through levels at a painstakingly slow pace.
I mean, not really, and that kind of immediately takes away from the entire point of this video.
You would think they would speed it up to help match their fast delivery times.
I'm telling you, this guy has no reason to mention this. He's just getting paid by Domino's or something. I don't know why he mentioned this.
Despite the Noid's casual movements in the platforming game, many players have attempted speedruns in the classic. The world record speedrun in the game is currently held at 22 minutes and 15 seconds. YouTube user The Mexican Runner posted footage of this feat, and even he looked bored moving through the game's 14 various levels at a snail's pace. The record is pretty impressive, considering that most players would give up after a couple levels, and just order Domino's Pizza instead.
Alright, firstly, more evidence this guy is getting paid by Domino's. Secondly, this is my biggest problem with this list, okay? Because in this game, there's no option for a different character. So this person's not choosing to use a slow character. They're being forced to use a slow character because it's the only character in the game.
Number 9. Earthquake battles in WWF WrestleFest. The new generation of WWE 2K games are great simulations of the real WWE.
Alright, this guy is definitely getting paid by the WWE to say this. This has nothing to do with the game he's talking about. Absolutely nothing.
With realistic characters.
When has any character from the WWE been realistic? I mean, like, they even, chose a stupid character to say that over in the B-roll. I mean, look at that clip again.
With realistic characters. With realistic characters.
Oh yes, I am just an average Joe who covers myself in gold body paint.
Impressive graphics, and plenty of match types of playthrough.
Alright, I'm sorry I'm spending so much time on just the intro to this one, but I mean, that wasn't even a sentence that made sense. Come on, man. At least try to make this a bit more difficult.
Plenty of match types of playthrough. Plenty of match types of playthrough. Despite their success, there's still something fun about playing the original arcade classic, WWF WrestleFest. The game featured an all-star cast of WWE superstars, including Hulk Hogan, Mr. Perfect, The Ultimate Warrior, and Jake the Snake Roberts. One of the slowest moving characters in the bunch was the massive Earthquake. Earthquake moved slow in the ring, but could make up for it with powerful slams, and his Earthquake Splash.
Alright, I'm gonna give it to, the gamer this round. I think, it was the WWE that was stupid this time. I mean, first of all, earthquakes don't splash. Second of all, if you wanted to call something the earthquake splash or whatever, call it the earthquake tsunami. I mean, come on.
One player decided to take up the challenge and survive a whole Royal Rumble using just Earthquake. He survived multiple superstars, eliminating several of them, and took on fast-paced opponents like the Legion of Doom and the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. Unlike a real Royal Rumble, pinfalls were allowed and Earthquake used them to his advantage.
I like how they talk about this as if it was Earthquake doing these things and not the player controlling him.
By pinning wrestlers like Sergeant Slaughter. In the end, he was left with Animal from the Legion of Doom and made him submit using a giant bear hug. Earthquake defeated all of his opponents in just under 8 minutes and stood victorious as the winner.
Okay, and so, first of all, it never mentioned that it was a speed run. Second of all, okay, no, that's it. It never mentioned that it was a speed run. They just made it sound like someone was playing through the game normally. So was it a speed run, or was it just a run? Because you never really mentioned that. Anyways, I'm gonna start skipping around in the video instead of going by numerical order, because I'd just be repeating myself for half the time, and I do that enough already. So I'll just do the ones I think are interesting.
Number 7. The original Tomb Raider. Originally released in 1996, Tomb Raider was ahead of its time. The graphics and gameplay in the original PlayStation release were impressive and helped lead to multiple sequels, film adaptations, and even an animated series. While many players looked at the franchise with a lot of nostalgia, they may not realize how slow Lara Croft actually was in the game.
Alright, so we're repeating a lot of the mistakes of the past. Firstly, this character is not actually moving all that slow, and second of all, once again, you see, they did not get to pick Lara Croft. There was no other alternative character that was faster they could choose from. They were forced into playing Lara Croft, and I feel like I have to explain speedrunning to the gamer. You see, the goal of speedrunning is not, in fact, to get your character to move fast or to move fast with the character. It's to beat a game in as fast as possible. Okay? You can move slowly and beat the game really fast. Doing this is not a big deal.
When the character walked, it was at a snail's pace, and it didn't feel much faster when it came to running. The character was meant to explore, but many parts of the levels include her just walking through empty areas.
Well, if you ran in those empty areas, she would probably move faster.
Even though she moves slowly, many speedrunners have found ways to increase her speeds and create impressive times in completing the game.
Why do you pronounce completing like that? Why? Do they just not do second takes? Because That would explain a lot about this video.
The YouTube speedrunner Action Turnip has showcased multiple speedruns through the game at under 1 hour and 20 minutes. This was done by relying on Croft's jump forward action. By continuously leaping forward, the slow pace of Croft is eliminated and the game can be defeated at a much quicker pace. Not only can he move faster,
Frog girl go boing, boing, boing.
but he has the ability to defeat enemies, solve puzzles, and get through some of the game's toughest areas.
Oh, thank goodness. You see, I was playing Tomb Raider the other day, and I didn't realize the way you defeated enemies and solved puzzles was by jumping around like a maniac. Thanks for telling me this, the gamer. Anyways, next up we have what is probably the second stupidest item on this list. And yes, there is one stupider than this one, if you can believe that.
Number 6. Toad's Journey in Super Mario Wii.
Alright, first of all, I know this is gonna sound like stupid, irrelevant nitpick, but there is no video game called Super Mario Wii, okay? There's New Super Mario Bros. Wii, but there is no Super Mario Wii. That's not a game that exists.
Super Mario Wii completely changed the Mario platforming aspect.
Alright, so we got another one of those interesting sentences on our hands. I don't know which aspect in particular they're talking about, but one of them was changed for sure.
By allowing 4 characters to go through levels at the same time. Along with staples like Mario and Luigi, players had the ability to control either Blue Toad or Yellow Toad.
Alright, and so this is my favorite part of the video. It's where they completely lie so they can put Mario in the thumbnail.
Let's face it, the Toads don't seem as fast or as cool as using Mario and his brother. They're shorter, slower, and it can be a huge challenge to use them in vertical-based levels, where you have to make fast and high jumps.
Alright, so most of that was a lie, you see. Mario, Luigi, and the Toads are all exactly the same, okay? They're just reskins. They all have the same speed and jump height. There is no actual difference other than aesthetic.
While Mario has been the star of speedruns for years, many players took advantage of the Toads to create all types of speedruns in the classic Wii game. Going through the whole game without using any secret warps or pipes, the YouTube user eWallerTV is able to defeat the whole game.
Wow, he defeated the game? That must have been a really epic battle between man and DVD. I wish I was there.
In 2 hours and 8 minutes. It's pretty impressive to watch him control Toad, collect power-ups, and defeat all of the bosses without the help of Mario along the way. Toad is typically only allowed to be used in multiplayer games, but an emulator and a mod made him the single-player character for this adventure. That makes it a little hard to duplicate yourself, but still impressive to see.
Now, I know what's on all of your minds that I arbitrarily decided was on your minds. Alright, so Squid-Boy, that was incredibly stupid. And you said it was the second stupidest, okay. What's the first stupidest? How can it be worse than that? Oh boy. You're gonna love/hate this.
Number 3. Heavy in Team Fortress 2.
Alright, so immediate problem here. Team Fortress 2 does not have a story mode or a campaign, and thus cannot be speedrunned.
Team Fortress 2 is filled with a lot of different characters to choose from. Each one has different attributes that make them better than the others.
Except for Spy. Sorry, Spy mains, but it's true. You're not better at anything. It's a really bad class, I'm sorry.
If you're looking for strength and power, then Heavy is one of the best options. Heavy is a huge character who earned his nickname for a reason. The big guy may have power, but he moves slow. Despite this, Heavy is still the player of choice for many speedrunners. His other skills make up for the slow speed and allow him to easily defeat enemies and earn extra points in levels.
Oh boy, I sure do love it when I am playing the Team Fortress Defense 2 game, and I am playing the Heavy class, and I get the Heavy kill bonus, where for no reasons I get extra points for killing something as Heavy.
The Russian character comes loaded with guns, and players have used him to survive maps and kill off enemies as quickly as possible. Part of the reason for his slow speeds are the giant weapons that he carries through levels. This includes multiple versions of his Iron Curtain guns.
What? Okay, so this really confuses me, because first of all, they're not called his Iron Curtain guns. They're miniguns. He has one reskin that's called the Iron Curtain. And so that gets me thinking, someone knows enough about Team Fortress 2 to know about a specific reskin of a weapon, yet they do not know that there is no story mode and thus cannot be speedrunned. Like, you literally just have to go to the main menu to learn that. How do they not know that?
That come loaded with tons of ammo. It also doesn't help that he loves to carry sandwiches and chocolate bars around to increase his health.
I sure hate it when I'm playing the Team Defense Fortress 2 game as the heavy class and my chocolate bar physically slows me down.
Heavy was promoted as one of the main characters in Team Fortress 2.
You know, kinda like all the characters in Team Fortress 2.
And this is one of the main reasons that so many players use him in speedruns and map battles with other players.
Alright, so we've already established that you can't even speedrun Team Fortress 2. But what is a map battle? Is that like a fight where you like slap each other with maps? Because I could see Team Fortress 2 players doing that, but I don't think that's a thing in the game. Anyways, that was the video. If you're wondering what the number one choice is, it's stupid. It's some like obscure game from the Super Nintendo era, and you don't even move slow. You actually move quite fast in the game. The only issue is we're like, yeah, but if you press the walk button, okay, well, press the run button. But anyways, yeah, that's the video. Alright, so yeah, anyways, goodbye and
Speedrun to the subscribe button.
You'll